Yogis have been practicing Satipatthana meditation for 2 weeks diligently. And when you go back, you need to bring this meditation along, and you need to remember the Odesa Mahasatipatthana Odesa Pali, except from the Mahasatipatthana Kaya Kaya Nupasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima, etc. We need to try, we need to contemplate every bodily behavior, feeling, consciousness, and Dhamma are then clearly comprehension and mindful. And also you need to bring along the 3 principles of the teaching of the Buddha. So the teaching is from the menu book. Open your book. Page 50. The three principles of the Buddha teaching. That is page 15, Ovada Patimokkha, the first one. Can you follow me? Sabbapasa agaranam kusalasa upasambedam sacita priyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam sabbapasa agaranam kusalasa upasambedam sacita priyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. Recite together 3 times. Sabbapasa agaranam kusalasa upasambedam sacita priyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam sabbapasa agaranam kusalasa upasambedam sacita priyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam sabbapasa agaranam kusalasa upasambedam sacita priyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. Translation, follow me. Not to do any evil, to cultivate good, to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Not to do any evil, to cultivate good, to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Vietnamese translation 3 times. So these are the 3 principles of the teaching of the Buddha. The first is Sabbapasa Agarana, not to do any evil, avoid all kinds of demerits. Papa, demerits, Papa means evil, unwholesome acts, speech, and thoughts, which have their origin in such evil mental states: lobha, greed, dosa, hatred, moha, delusion, conceit, mana, and so on. So based on greed, hatred, delusion, conceit, people do evil speech and evil acts. So in this context, however, Papa refers mainly to unwholesome acts and speech, but not yet evil mental states. So it is demerits of Papa if you act or speak based on your selfishness, lust, hatred, or delusion with the purpose to gain your own interest or to damage other people. So avoiding all demerits means to observe moral precepts. So remember, if you go home in the daily life, you need to observe 5 precepts. For lay people, you understand, you observe 5 precepts, you abstain from killing, hurting others, refrain from stealing, cheating, robbing, and abstain from unlawful sexual conducts, adultery, etc. And abstain from daily lies, and abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs. For lay people, you need to avoid 5 precepts. But for the monks, there are 227 precepts and 311 for nuns, in brief. But for monks, thousands of discipline in detail. So the monks have to avoid these kinds of demerits according to the Vinaya laws. So it is demerits Papa if they break any of these precepts. So we have to avoid such demerits. That is what is meant by the phrase Sabba Papasa Akarana, not to do any evil. So the second one is Kusalasa Upasampada, to cultivate good. Kusala merits are something praiseworthy. For a lay person, there are several kinds of merits to undertake. For example, you can undertake moral precepts, you avoid unwholesome acts and speech, and you can also perform many other kinds of merits. You can do an act of generosity, dana. You can practice samatha meditation, tranquility meditation, and Bodhanussati. You can collect the virtues of the Buddha. And you can contemplate something wholesome and so on. But for monks and nuns, they need to practice meditation, both samatha meditation and vipassana meditation, until they attain enlightenment. So monks' duty is to practice bhavana, meditation. So marriage is basically anything done or any words spoken for others' well-being, such as you doing volunteer works, offering helping hands to other people, providing someone with something he or she needs. So we are advised to perform all kinds of merits. So you remember kusala are dana kusala, charity, sila kusala, morality, samadhi kusala, concentration, meditation, vipassana kusala, vipassana practice, and 4 mega kusala, 4 path, wholesome mega. So to remember the kusala, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dana, sila, samadhi, vipassana, and mega kusala. Can you follow me? Dana kusala, sila kusala, samadhi kusala, vipassana kusala, mega kusala, dana kusala, sila kusala, samadhi kusala, vipassana kusala, mega kusala. So you can perform all kinds of merits. You can do charity, you can observe sila. Sila is better than dana. Charity, samadhi kusala is better. Concentration, meditation, and vipassana practice. The whole week you are developing vipassana kusala. And if you attain mega, that is the best for mega kusala. That is Sotapati mega, Sagragami, Anagami mega, Arhata mega. That is the best one. So all kinds of merits need to be developed. Buddha said, cultivate good. And then Buddha continues, Sajjata Pariyodapana, purifying your minds. So this principle is to purify our minds from mental defilements, kilesa. So to what extent should our mind be purified? It needs to be purified up to Arhata mega phala enlightenment. So we are encouraged to put great effort in the practice until we attain the higher stage, Arhata mega phala. So that is Buddha wish. This is the extent to which we have to purify our mind progressively. It is like washing clothes by beating and pounding repeatedly until it is totally cleaned. So we have to purify our minds from all kinds of mental defilements. We have a lot of greed, hatred, delusion, jealousy, conceit, and so on. So that is what we have been practicing vipassana in this retreat, in this week. So not only one time, not only 1 hour, not only one session, one hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, not only this, 1 month, 2 months, the whole life. Because if we do not practice repeatedly, mental defilements can come in. So we are advised to practice tranquility meditation, samatha meditation, so that our minds cannot be distracted by such mental defilements as greed, hatred, delusion, and so on. So when we focus our mind on a samatha object, our mind won't go astray. For example, when you practice meditation on the Buddha's quality, Buddha is Arahant, free from mental defilements, totally free from mental defilements. If you practice the meditation on the Buddha's quality, your mind would be focused on the virtues of the Buddha, your mind not going astray. So at that moment, your mind would be purified from negative emotion. In the same way, when your mind is focused on the anapana, in breathe, in breath, out breath, in, out, in, out, in, out, or your mind is focused on the 32 anatomical parts of my body. In my body, there are heads hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, and so on. 32 parts of the body. We can reflect on these material things. They are disgusting, they are impermanent, etc. If we practice, our mind would not go anywhere, and our mind will not be defiled by lustful thoughts, hateful thoughts, and so on. Sachita Priyodapana, to purify your minds, you remember the Buddha teaching, Ekaya no yambikui mego satana visuddhiya. Mindfulness meditation is the only way to purify the minds of the beings. So you love meditation so much, you have faith in the practice, and you understand mindfulness meditation can work for the purpose of purifying my mind. So you are just to be mindful of any psychophysical phenomena manifested at the six senses. You waiting at the six senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and knowing. So you have to be aware of them concurrently so that you can see them as they really are. That is, you capture the Namarupa psychophysical phenomena. When you capture it, the appearing and disappearing, hearing, coming and going, appearing and disappearing, these phenomena are impermanent, distressing, and non-self. But in the beginning, you may not realize that much, of course, but you will realize, you will see this Namarupa when your mindfulness becomes continuous and your concentration matures. Then every time you note, you will see only two things of phenomena, Nama and Rupa, mental and physical. Seeing, you note it, and you capture the visible form. They are just appearing, eye sensitivity, these are Rupa. And seeing consciousness, when you see, seeing consciousness arises, and you more skillful, and you capture the mindfulness of seeing. Seeing consciousness and mindfulness of seeing are mental phenomena, these are Nama. So at the moment of seeing, these phenomena, they are the phenomena manifested, and you note, and you know, and you capture very immediately. It is important to capture the reality. So to beautify our minds, as soon as we see something, we have to note seeing. Data matam voicity. Data matam voicity. When you see, you have to know seeing. But if we don't note, there may be complicated. We make a lot of comments. I don't like. It is undesirable. It's ugly. Beautiful object. I like it. So if we make a lot of comments and if we don't note, there will come mental defilements. So as soon as you note, you can capture the eye sensitivity, visible object, seeing consciousness. They are separated phenomena. And the mindfulness of them is also separated from them. Mindfulness, noting mind, is separate from seeing consciousness. So eye sensitivity, visible object, seeing consciousness, and mindfulness of them are all separate phenomena. They are just psychophysical phenomena. In order to see them as they really are, we need to be mindful of seeing every time we see. Also, when we hear, ear sensitivity, eardrum, and sound wave are separate physical phenomena. Hearing is hearing consciousness, that is mental phenomena. Mindfulness of them is a mental phenomena different from hearing consciousness. So these are all separate phenomena that arise when hearing. So we have to be mindful of them very carefully, hearing. Normally, we make a lot of comments. I don't like this sound, ugly. Sometimes desirable sound, we like it. I like the sound. So don't make any comments. Just be mindful of them very carefully. Hearing, seeing, so that you can discern them empirically. As a beginner yogi, he or she may not be aware of that much, but he or she will see them when their concentration and insight knowledge become mature enough, depending on his or her parami. Some meditators are endowed with mature parami. They have practiced meditation previous time. So they can see these phenomena very clearly within few days. But others, meditators, just to some extent. But if yogis see them to some extent, he or she can gradually develop progressive stages of insight up to Megaphala enlightenment. So if we do not attain Megaphala, we should not be discouraged. One day we will gain. So just for our general knowledge, Mahasi Sayadaw have this aphorism: at the moment of seeing, the eye sensitivity and visible form are rupa, physical phenomena. Seeing consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental, nama. At the moment of hearing, the eardrum, ear sensitivity and sound wave are physical, rupa. Hearing consciousness and mindfulness of them are nama, mental. So can you follow me? Mahasi Sayadaw aphorism. At the moment of seeing, eye sensitivity and visible object are physical phenomena. Seeing consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. At the moment of hearing, ear sensitivity, eardrum, and sound wave are physical phenomena. Hearing consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. So they are all separated. If you very careful, you can capture it. When you hear something, you have to know hearing. Sute, sutta, mattam, voicity. Hearing is hearing. You don't make any comments. You don't make any judgment. If we do not practice, we make a lot of comments. I don't like. I like the songs. And then we like, people like music festival. And people don't like scolding. Now here you just noted hearing. So everything will be very smooth if you note hearing. If your concentration getting strengthened, you may become aware of ear sensitivity and sound wave. You capture these phenomena very sharply. Eardrums, ear sensitivity, and sound wave are physical phenomena. And hearing consciousness and mindfulness of hearing consciousness is mental phenomena. Two mental phenomena and two physical phenomena you can capture. So you may capture them separately. You may see them vanish just after a while. And you may also see the hearing consciousness, mindfulness of it, vanish immediately. So the present objects are very, very short. It is very precious. Because of this, you pay attention to the present because it's vanished immediately as soon as it arises. So that is about a nature impermanence. In the beginning, you may not see this clearly, but at least you may be able to contemplate the impermanence to some extent. So through your continuous mindfulness and strong concentration, you will become aware of that sound wave, hearing consciousness, and mindfulness of them arise and vanish immediately afterwards. So in the same way, when smelling, you know, smelling in the dining hall, you smell the something, and you capture the nose sensitivity and smell. They are physical phenomena. A smelling consciousness and mindfulness of this, mindfulness of that consciousness is mental phenomena. So when eating, you very, very patient. So we really appreciate for your practice in eating. When eating, tongue sensitivity and flavor like sweet or sour or tasty or tasteless represent physical phenomena. And tasting consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. So these phenomena are separate. They arise and vanish moment by moment. So after a few days in the 2-month retreat, after 10 days or 2 weeks of practice, the meditator inside knowledge strengthen. And when they eat, they may not even find any taste to enjoy because despairing rate is very fast. As soon as they chewing, tasting, and tasting gone. Tasting disappear very fast. And when they eat, no taste, no delicious at all. That is, the food are very delicious, but they don't have any taste. Why? Because disappearing is very fast. So in the very intelligent yogis can capture that kinds of reality. So they would find themselves swallowing the food without enjoyment of the taste. They would find nothing but psychophysical phenomena arising and vanishing. So this is Mazisiara aphorism. If you're really mindful, at the moment of eating, you can capture these phenomena. The tongue sensitivity and taste are physical phenomena. Tasting consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. There is no person, no individual, no living entity, just nama and rupa. If you practice, you can know yourself. So can you follow me? At the moment of eating, the tongue sensitivity and the taste are physical phenomena. Tasting consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. So just you very patient and just noting very systematically, chewing, tasting, everything you mindful, and you can capture these phenomena clearly. Seeing is limited, hearing limited, smelling limited, tasting limited, touching is very extensive. Touching can be experienced at every healthy parts of your body. So depending on condition, the touching is manifested at any parts of the body, feet, nose, as well as internal organs, many touching. So we have to know these touching points very carefully. If we do not know touching, we are most likely to identify them as this is I touch, I sit, I walk, I stand, I lie down, I stretch, I bend. This is mine. So we wrongly think like this. I touch, I feel itchy, I hold, and so on. This is my abdomen. This is my hand. This is my body. This is my foot. This is my head. All wrong. So in an ultimate sense, they are not me, they are not mine, but they are just namarupa psychophysical phenomena. So at the moment of touching, there is body sensitivity that normally spreads the entire body including all external body parts and internal organs, blood, flesh, and bones. It fill up with the body sensitivity. So the body refers to the body sensitivity, which represents the sense of touching. On this sensitivity, a tangible object from outside or inside the body would come to impinge. So the tangible object refers to one of the three primary elements. The first one is Patavi, earth elements. So when you touch something or someone, you know touching. What you discover. Now your hands are touching, your buttock are touching, sitting, touching, sitting, touching. What you know? You understand softness, hardness. That is earth elements. Earth element impinge on this body sensitivity, and you feel heat, warm, or coolness, That is fire elements impinge on the body sensitivity. You are noting sitting. What you know, what you understand. Sitting is pressure or motion, stiffness, tension. So that is wind elements in terms of pressure, motion, or vibration. That means wind element impinge on the body sensitivity. So the motions or movement characterized by the air elements is generated by mental state. That is wanting to sit and sitting, wanting to breathe, breathing, wanting to sit, sitting, etc. Wanting to bend, wanting to stretch, and so on. So after sitting for long, you want to move, and you have to know that mental state of wanting to move. And subsequently, you have to note bending, stretching accordingly. So when you know touching, you would become aware of the body sensitivity and the tangible object in three forms: hardness or softness, tension, motions or pressure, heat, warmth or cold. So these represent physical phenomena, and you become aware of body's consciousness and mindfulness of it. Both are mental phenomena. So when you are noting, sitting, touching, when your concentration getting better, you can capture the rupa and nama. At the moment of touching, the body sensitivity and tangible objects are physical phenomena, and body consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. Just know sitting. Very intently, very concentratedly, and you will capture these phenomena clearly. So can you follow me? At the moment of touching, the body sensitivity and tangible object are physical phenomena. Body consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. The whole day you are noting that touching section. Sitting, touching, walking, touching, lifting, touching, bending, touching, stretching, touching, all touching points. You try to be aware. When something touches your body, you have to be aware of it by noting it's touching. And mindfulness of touching includes mindfulness of bodily action, like bending, stretching, left, right, rising, falling, and so on. So when you note the abdominal rising, you would be aware of tightness, pressure that impinge on your body sensitivity in the abdomen. So in that case, the tightness and body sensitivity are physical phenomena, and the body consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. There are only two kinds of phenomena, nama and rupa, mind and body. So you clearly perceive. So can you follow me? At the moment of rising, the body sensitivity and air elements are physical phenomena. Body's consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. At the moment of falling, the body sensitivity and air elements are physical phenomena. Body consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. At the moment of bending, the body sensitivity and air elements are physical phenomena. Body consciousness and mindfulness of them are mental phenomena. So every physical behavior you try to be aware. Kaya nupasi viharati. Meditators contemplate the body in the body. Every body behavior you try to be aware and you perceive that touching. So if you note bending your arm, bending, you can be aware of touching in terms of tightness and motion, the movement that take place in your arm. So in your arm, there is the body sensitivity, on which the tightness, the movements impinge. So both are physical phenomena, and you can perceive them along with every movement you would make. And there are two kinds of mental phenomena, body consciousness and mindfulness of that body consciousness, that is mental. So there are only psychophysical phenomena. In order to be aware of them at every moment they arise, what is important is to note every movement and actions you are doing, rising, falling, sitting, touching, bending, stretching, walking, lifting, dropping, and so on. Every bodily behavior you try to be aware according to the teaching of meditators. Contemplate the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful. You follow the instruction. And thinking is mental state. These mental states are very breakable and very fragile. If we don't know these mental states, we have big problem. So mental state should be noted very immediately. So we have to know every thoughts whenever they occur. If failure to know them would lead to our mental defilements, greed, lust, anger, and so on. And there are also sensations that arise from touching, like heat, stiffness, pain, numbness, ache, and so on. So we have to note them all accordingly, otherwise we would arouse clinging sense of I discourage, I happy, my depression, I feel hot, I feel stiff, I'm very painful, and so on, arousing the desire for comfort and aversion against discomfort. So it is very important to be aware of these sensations as they really are. Noted, stiff, stiff, hot, hot, pain, pain, happy, happy, and so on. Every moment they are manifested. So if we note seeing when we see, we would become aware of it as it is, leaving no room for our mental defilements like greed, aversion, and so on. So in the same way, in order to be aware of phenomena as they really are, and to prevent our mental defilements that would otherwise arise from them, we have to note all these phenomena manifested, just as hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, sitting, moving, thinking, stiffness, heat, pain, ache, and so on. So this is the way to purify our minds from mental defilements, sajjita priyodabana. Which extent do we need to purify our mind to? We have to purify our mind until we attain the highest stage of enlightenment, Arata Megapala, through which we will completely eradicate all kinds of mental defilements. So yogis have been practicing Vipassana in this meditation center for that purpose. We all have a lot of kilesa and we want to purify it. Now 1 week practice, and surely your mental defilements getting less. So that is what is meant by the phrase of the Buddha, Sajjita Priyodavana, purifying your mind. So it would be very satisfying to find ourselves practicing Satipatthana meditation. The more progress you make in the practice, the more satisfied you would feel with your practice. So all yogis should put great effort in the practice so that your mind would be purified for your whole life. So purification of mind, sajjita priyodabana, is a lifelong commitment. We would feel greatly happy if we consider that we have got a chance to practice after having wasted our time without practicing for many years. So it would make we feel even happier when we get older, especially monastics. Monks would be even more gratified with this practice, the mental purification for which they joined the holy order in the beginning. So there are some monastics who can start practicing only after having spent many years of monastic life. So it is very inspiring that monastics now seize a chance before too late to purify their minds of mental defilements just by observing presently arising phenomena manifested at the six senses. So even if we may not make it yet to maintain Megapala enlightenment, we would be gratifying to find our mind purifies of mental defilements to some extent, at least. If we practice this Dhamma for one day, we can experience such gratification for one day. And if we practice for 2 days or 1 week retreat, we can experience the gratification for 2 days or 1 week. So it is greatly precious job, because it is a job that can protect us from all kinds of woeful rebirths throughout the cycle of samsara. If we could not make it to attain full enlightenment in this very life. So people have to make a living for all means available according to their skills, talents, and social status. Some have to work very hard just for daily wage. This vipassana practice is not just for a small reward like daily wage. The benefits of vipassana practice is timeless and limitless. It would benefit all of you, not for a year, not for a single life, but for the entire cycle of samsara, indeed. So by means of this vipassana practice, you will no longer be liable to be reborn in the woeful states. You will not go down to hell. You will not be reborn in animal kingdom. You will not be reborn in hungry ghosts and so on. Even if you cannot reach that high, the merits you would accumulate by this practice would promise you a blissful rebirth after death, at least. So all of you feel greatly inspired when you think about the fact that you have been practicing vipassana that can promise you freedom from all kinds of woeful states. So purifying one's mind is the core part of the holy teaching of the Buddha. So you all yogis would feel definitely happy to find yourself practicing in accordance with the holy teaching of the Buddha. So we have to end our discourse for today by reciting this stanza, 3 principles of the Buddha. We recite again. Open your book, page 15. Sabba papasa akaranam kusalasa upasabada sachaita pariyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. 3 times. Sabba papasa akaranam kusalasa upasambeda sachaita pariyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. Sabba papasa akaranam kusalasa upasambeda sachaita pariyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. Sabba papasa akaranam kusalasa upasambeda sachaita pariyodapanam etam bodhana sasanam. Translation, read together. not to do any evil, to cultivate good, to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.